Hello, this is Relly Mangubat. You're watching Drum Basics. Our lesson for today is ironic. It's the song Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Alright, so let's begin by talking about Ironic, the song. The song was originally composed by two individuals, two composers. One of which is Miss Alanis Morissette, who's also the artist, and the second composer is Mr. Glen Ballard. Now, both of them collaborated this song and unexpectedly became one of the Billboard's hit songs. It's very amazing because the song is very simple, but the message and the lyrics that was applied to this song was composed for this song was something that anybody or everyone can relate to, and I think that's contributed to the success of the song. Also, I just want to highlight the drummer who actually played this song is a different recording drummer. Okay, a lot of us know that it's a different drummer, but it was recorded by drummer Rob Ladd, which is known for his drum recordings. Okay, and it's a very interesting recording that he made. We'll talk about that later. However, I also want to highlight one of my influences in drumming. At that time, touring drumming for this song, for this album, is no other than FooFighters drummer Taylor Hawkins. Before, when the FooFighters were still not a band, he played session playing back in the years 95 and 96. It was Taylor who played the drum parts during the tour of Alanis Morissette. So let's begin and dissect all the parts and start this episode. Okay, to continue, on the first four bars of this piece, it starts with a guitar, and you can also hear humming by Alanis Morissette. The second part is followed immediately by the first stanza, which you could actually hear a bit of a percussion and the guitar and vocals of Alanis. Now that runs for 8 bars, okay, until it reached the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus is a 2-bar chorus, pre-chorus 2-bar pattern. Okay, for the first bar of that pre-chorus, it's a whole note rest, so we're not going to do anything about it. Now, for the second bar, it is composed by a half note rest and a 2-beat fill in, and this is how the fill sounds like. So let's start with that bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, let's do it again. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so after that fill, we go straight to the first chorus. Now, the first chorus runs for about 8 bars, and then right after that 8 bars, it's followed by the second stanza right away. Okay, so I just want to discuss and highlight that Mr. Rob Ladd, the drummer who actually recorded this song, just composed one bar drum parts for both stanzas and choruses, and that's very very unique for me. He's applying less is more, and it just shows that this particular drummer is very disciplined in playing the parts. So let's talk about and play that single bar drum part. and we'll just play the entire thing later. Okay? So this is how that particular drum part sounds like. So after the fill, starts with a crash and accentuates the first beat. And this is how it sounds like. So that's the bar. So let me start again. I'm going to play it again. So the entire chorus is actually played with that particular beat, starting off with a crash on the first bar of the chorus, and then it is being played without crashes on the one up until it reaches the 7th bar. On the 7th and the 8th bar of the chorus, there are accents applied to the same notes to accentuate the what you call here in the Philippines bagsakan. It's actually called hits in the States. So it's wherein the instruments are playing unison at the same time to accentuate those parts and put emphasis, okay, as preparation to introduce another part, which is the stanza. So let me go ahead and play the whole chorus part. That was 8 bars of the first chorus, and I just want to emphasize on bar 21. It's a 2-bar pattern, which there's a slight variation. As I mentioned, there were accentuations added, and these are the 8-note crashes that were added to unify with the other instruments. Okay, let me repeat that again for you slowly. This particular part was accentuated to introduce the second stanza. Okay, so let me just play that for you again slowly for you to catch up, and it's pretty basic and easy. Okay, so this is how it sounds like. Okay, so after the first chorus, it goes straight to the second stanza. And as I mentioned earlier, Rob Ladd used the same groove or drum patterns. It's a one bar drum pattern that he composed, and it went throughout the song entirely. So the second stanza is going to we're going to play the same bar, and it is actually an 8-bar phrase for that stanza. And then after that 8-bar phrase with the theme that was created earlier, it just actually copied towards this second part. So after the 8-bar second stanza, it gets followed by a pre-chorus. Okay, but this time there's a slight variation on the fill before the second chorus. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the second stanza, right? The 8-bar second stanza, and then we stop at the pre-chorus variation. So this is how the second stanza sounds like. Starts with a crash, pretty much the same as the first chorus. Okay, moving along, the second pre-chorus is also a 2-bar pattern. The first bar, the main groove was also applied, so it's just the same thing. It starts with a crash, of course. Okay, however, for the second bar, the first 2 beats was adapted to that main groove, and there's an 8-note flam variation, and 2 16ths and an 8 on the 4th beat to change it a bit. This is again made use so we can introduce the next part. So the next part is obviously the second chorus, and that's about it. So let's hear the second bar of that second chorus. So the last part of this episode, this is episode 2.1. We're going to finish this episode with the second chorus. Pretty much the second chorus, it's like the same as the first chorus, and the last 2 bars also have accentuation, and it's the same as the first chorus exactly. All right, so I'm gonna play it again for you to end this episode. Okay, so there you have it. This is episode 2 of Drum Basics. That's 2.1 rather of Drum Basics. This is a song that I really love playing ever since I started playing the drums, encountering the artist Alanis Morissette. This is the first song I ever studied from that album that went Billboard back in the early 90s. And one of the major influences that I have growing up is Alanis Morissette, this artist. So we'll continue the second half of this instructional video. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and just tune in and like and subscribe to this channel for more videos to come. So for now, thank you for watching. My name is Relly Mangubat. You're watching Drum Basics.